We back up in this thing. You can't roll with us if your last name don't got no loyalty. Podcast party poppin', but you already knew. I've been rolling with these folks. This that Monday night crew. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you.
Yo, what's happening, man? Welcome back to another episode of the Monday Night Crew. It's your boy K.Mims, the only spot you get authenticity and entertainment at the same time. We got the ladies of the show tonight, Miss Asia, Miss Brittany. What's happening?
Hey.
I got my bro Louis B with me. What's happening? What's happening?
Go Birds.
Oh man, come on, bro.
I knew he was gonna do that.
God, man, Jay and Prince is not with us tonight, but they're here in spirit. So a couple of things, please hit that bell notification, subscribe to the page so you get all content coming to the page, whether it be the Kickback by MVW, Monday Night Crew, Last Name Loyalty, Traffic Jam. Also, DC, the tickets just went live today, man. The first stop of the Millennials vs. the World Podcast Party Tour 2025 is popping off this May the 17th at Cafe St. X, sponsored by 3708 Tequila. Tickets are live now, man. Tap in, tap in, tap in. What's happening, good people? How y'all feeling, man? How everybody feeling, man? How everybody doing?
Good.
Bless, brother, bless.
So we're gonna get right into it because I want to use all of tonight's showtime for topics. You understand me? All right. We got some video reactions first. All right, man. So the first thing I want to talk about, man, it was this video. It's like an off-brand Pop the Balloon. We're gonna play it, see what it says, and I want to react to what was brought up in this situation.
Ever spent on a man that you were involved with? What's the most amount of money you've ever spent on a man that you were involved with?
On a man that I'm involved with, There is no limit. If I love you, I love you, and I'm going above and beyond.
Okay. In the past, like just off the top of your head,
a
ballpark.
figure, $2,000 on a watch.
Why?
My reason for asking that question is because I'm very unselfish. The women that I've dealt with that I know like me have a unselfish and just a very giving nature. So that number, I don't know the relationship, the extent of the relationship, but I know women have spent money on and what they've spent money on and how much when they really, really care about somebody.
Yeah,
so.
It can go higher than that. It's not, that's what I said, I don't really put a price on it because it can go higher. However, that particular guy, we were dating for like not even a year yet. So it was just kind of like, I'm going to get you something because yes, we're dating.
Okay.
Yes, we're continuing. We're trying to figure out where we're going. And so I don't want to go too far if we're not too far.
Right. So
sometimes that can intimidate a guy. Like if you give him something too much, too fast, too soon, It's an intimidation. Well, it can't be.
So let me ask you this. Would you say you haven't had many relationships in the past? If that
No,
would
I
be
haven't.
Okay.
You want your balloon back? Okay.
All right, so hey, look, so I got a couple of things, man. A couple of things. What's y'all thoughts on a guy meeting with how much you willing to spend on me? And secondly, vetting a woman for her giving spirit before they even get there. So what's y'all initial reaction to the video when y'all saw
What y'all think?
I was confused at first because I feel like he thought that was too small of an amount, and it caught me off guard because I thought he was like, "Yo, that's high. 2,000 on a watch is. I don't care how long I've been dating you. Like that's a nice gift, especially somebody that's not your spouse." So it caught me off guard, and then like his reasoning behind why he popped the balloon, it was just wild and crazy to me. And then sis felt the need to like explain herself to him, and I'm like, why, girl? He just showed you a red flag. Like you could have spared your own self.
I feel like he was just setting expectations.
Yeah, but like that's a red flag. That was a red flag to me. Like, why do you feel the need to explain yourself to get back in his good graces? He would have grabbed that balloon back and I would have popped it. Because now it's kind of like, well, what are we doing? What are you really looking for?
Lewis, what's your thoughts, brother?
I was confused at first. I'm still kind of confused, to be honest with you. I don't know what he was looking for in the answer. And I didn't really understand her response. Because getting someone a $2,000 watch, being with them a year, I mean, that I don't know what kind of message you're trying to relay, you know, from providing that information. So I'm still confused. I don't know.
I just don't. This is my thing. This is my initial reaction. You know, I'm torn. I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to figure out the balance between like setting the expectation in soft guy era. Now, I don't think the thing should be money. Honestly, I don't think dudes should come in into like, hey, how much you willing to spend on me? Or how much? I don't like the fact that he tried to reference another relationship for how she would do with him, right? But the thing is like money is a sensitive subject. But it's like, as a guy, I'm not saying I would do it, but how else would you say, like, basically it sounds like he's saying, like, I like gifts. How much are you willing to spend on me, right? How much of a turnoff is that a guy leading with those type of expectations? Like, you gonna spend money on me. I'm a giving spirit, so I expect you to give money back to me. I don't know how you do that anymore without coming out off as the soft guy era type.
Can't you describe that as a love language? Say, hey, giving is my love language, and that's how I demonstrate my love, and that's what I expect in return.
I think that's a good way of doing it. If because I think that, and I'm with you, Lewis and Bert. I was confused.
Mhm.
And I realized I was bouncing back and forth between what I was confused about. Because like at first I was like, oh, like when he asked the initial question, I was like, oh, I liked your answer. Like I thought it was a good answer. I was like, yeah, like she cares, you know, all the things. And then when he was like probing to then say like, nah, like what's the amount? I think she was trying to say what she thought was a reasonable number for him.
Mhm.
So that's when I think she said the thing, the $2,000 on a watch. And then seeing his response, I was definitely confused. And then Keenan, to your point, when he then brought up other women, it was just like, okay, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, good for you. Like, do you want a cookie? Like, okay, like I told you, I was a given person. So it's not that you're looking for a given person, you're looking for a specific number, right? And then to Britt's point, when she came back and was like, I think she made that up. I don't think that she gave it to a guy and she was only with him for a year. I think that she was trying to please the guy that was in front of her because she really wanted him. She wanted to be chosen by him. But I think like he could have stopped with like, I'm a giving person. I appreciate somebody that's going to be equally as giving. He could have ended there. He didn't have to bring up other women.
A $2,000 gift before we've been together for a year is aggressive.
Yeah. You know, that remind me of the story. I know this girl who took an Apple Watch from somebody. Remember?
Oh, did she?
Hey, no, I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
No, I remember that.
Remember
That girl took that watch and she didn't give it back. Remember?
Yeah.
They weren't together.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
really true.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I
That ain't 2,000 though.
What are you talking about?
Is 2,000 not aggressive for? I'm not going there. Is 2,000 not aggressive for a gift a year before we been together?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm not spending no 2K on that, bro. Not at my age now.
Yeah, no, that wasn't smart at all.
I don't think she was being truthful.
Yeah,
Personally, I don't.
So this is the last question before we transition to the next video. Do y'all think it's fair for a guy to lead with? To me, that's still leading with money, right? I don't think no situation goes well when you lead with money. No matter what money talks is happening when you lead with money. Do you think it's fair to set that type of expectation from jump? Like, I expect gifts. We ain't even on no date. We ain't got to know each other, but I expect gifts from you here. Is that a fair thing to set up front? Coming from the guy side, it's expected for guys to get women things. Is it fair to set that expectation for a guy to be like, I am going to want gifts?
I don't think it's not fair. I mean, he's just being truthful, and I can appreciate somebody being honest. I think where the turnoff comes is when you put that dollar amount on what the gift looks like. For me, right? Like if your love language is gifts, and you came to me like, listen, I like to give gifts. Energy has to be reciprocated. Okay, I understand that. Thank you for being honest. Then I get to decide if I want to continue. Now, if we continue, then you looking at me crazy because I bought you, I don't know, your favorite alcohol, a bottle of your favorite liquor for Valentine, whatever it is. And it's like, I was kind of expecting something in a higher price range. Now I'm looking at you like you're crazy because it's not about the gifts. You're really into monetary value on things. And we need to have a further conversation about what this looks like because that's not me.
Asia, what's your thought on that? A guy leading with his expectation of, I want gifts.
Yeah, I think it's how it's worded, number one.
Mhm.
Because it really bothered me when old boy like was just like, yeah, like that number's too low. And it's like she just told like, like I didn't like that, but I don't think it's wrong for a guy to set his expectations. I really don't. I think that guys should do that more. So that women are not guessing how to quote unquote like please the guy or how to show up for him, right? Because women do it all the time. We're very upfront about what it is that we want. But I do think that it is like to your point, Keenan, like leading with money before I even know anything about you. It's like I don't even know what kind of guy you are for real. Like I'm just trying to get to know you as a person to know if I'm willing to invest anything, not just money, but to invest my time, right? To invest conversation. So I think it's just you have to have it broad. And then when people get to know you, I think that's when you can, tailor it to that person that you're with.
For sure. All right, on to the next one. Video games, man. We can see how video games impact this relationship. We're gonna check out the video and just give our reaction from the beginning.
Now know is he didn't know how to operate. I'd be at what I now know is he didn't know how to operate. I'd be at home and he on his way home from the studio and I'm up in the room. I'm posted up. I'm sexy. I'm cute. And I'm thinking he gonna come up going, hey, E.
Nut.
The door open. Okay. Maybe he got something to drink. And okay, he went in the kitchen first. Okay, that's fine. I'm still waiting. I'm posted up. And then I hear the TV come on. Okay, maybe he want to check sports. The video game first?
What game?
I don't know. Madden, somewhat.
Yes,
I don't know.
Come on. Hey, listen, to those of you who don't understand his gripe, it's something that happens with men when we at that age. Sorry.
We got married. He was 25. I was 28.
Yes, Lord.
So we're young, right?
Oh, so you
but I didn't know. Yeah, I'm 3 years older than him. And I had been in serious relationships.
Go ahead. A little bit. Go ahead.
He was my third ring. So I had been engaged twice. Yeah.
Did you say yes to any of those guys or no?
All right. So video games, man. Wife laid up. She done put in effort for you to be ready. You know what I'm saying? You get off and guys are choosing. What's y'all initial reaction to the video?
Shout out to Erica from Mary and Willie Mo Jr. Podcast. I think the context, I've actually seen that that whole exchange, but I think the context was that they were young and she had expectations of how he should or how she thought a wife would be presenting herself, and she was expecting a reaction from him behind it. And he chose to prioritize a video game, which I think is not as taboo as it once was. It's like a real thing. I just think it's awareness. I think you have to have as a man for your wife and a certain appreciation for the things that she does. Because maybe the younger Lewis would have probably did something similar. Maybe not the video games, or probably would have did something else and maybe not paid enough attention. But I think that's more along the lines of where we kind of miss it sometimes. I know myself, I would have done it at that age.
All right. Brittany, what's your thought?
It's a hard no for me. This kind of, and it might not be the same thing, but it's borderline. Like, we talked about this before in terms of women and feeling rejection, because I felt like she could have leaned into that almost a little bit, because she said she did go out of her way. She said she like tooted it up twice and homie was still Madden football is life, right? So that can kind of put a damper on things where it's like, yo, I'm never trying this again. And then you guys have a conversation of, babe, you don't initiate, babe, you don't, like and this is me just kind of foreseeing things futuristically, and what I got off the video, but I don't know. I never dated a gamer. I don't know about the gamer life, but I understand that it's really real for some people and they do choose to game versus other things. It just comes down to the dynamic of their relationship. And I agree with Lewis in terms of awareness and understanding your partner and what that looks like.
So is it about him choosing the game or the fact that, so may I?
Yeah.
So you said go out your way to present the sexiness to get him to come in, right? Mm-hmm. So it sounded like a task or a duty. Mm-hmm. Just say that real quick. Mm-hmm. And then secondly, like, is it because you felt like you went out your way and he chose something else, or is it just the fact that he chose over the interaction would matter more? Or is it the fact that I put my energy here, it didn't get I went above and beyond to show you that I was ready and you chose something else? Or is it what you're choosing that makes it worse?
A little bit of both. And let's be clear. I don't think it's a duty, but I think it's a duty at the same time, because I do feel like there's certain boxes you have to check as a wife or as a husband. And if you're trying to elevate your levels of intimacy in any type of way, and let's say that's the first time she's ever tried something like that and he was playing the game, like, yo, you should have dropped that remote controller for all of those however many minutes, hours y'all got going on and picked it back up later. Like, I just feel like whoever's initiating, and it's the shoes on both feet, but usually normally men initiate differently or more, I would say, in terms of like not getting dressed sexy and walk, whatever it is, right? And at that young, tender age, I feel like she was overlooked. And I don't agree with that.
Lewis, you had something?
Brittany used the word initiate twice. How does she initiate it?
Let me say this correctly. If I intentionally get dressed, she said, maybe we need to play it again. She like tooted it up, tried to get his attention. To me, that signals like the only thing left for me to do is hop on top of you to fully initiate or engage in some sort of something. So if I'm sending off some sort of something, right, that will lead us, then if I'm dressed a certain way or not dressed, birthday suit, whatever, and I'm doing certain things or saying certain things, I'm putting myself in a place of initiation of, hey, okay, here I am. All you have to do is now take me. And you're choosing to play football. I feel like that's enough initiation for me to read it that way.
Lewis, do you not feel like that's initiation?
Nope.
Further explain, brother.
I think if you are trying to initiate attention, then that's what you could get. But if you're trying to initiate sex, then I don't think that those are cues. I don't think those are cues that initiate sex. Yeah, I think physically, because it's a physical act, and my thought process is you are going to do something physically to initiate that act because it's a physical situation. So, I learned from one of my friends about that process and how you got to warm women up. So they're the way that they look at it is a lot different than what we as men look at it as. So I get what you're saying, Brittany, and I empathize with that, but I don't think that, I don't think she I think she was looking for a certain type of attention that maybe would have led to it, but I don't look at that as initiating the actual act. I never would have picked that up. I think she was looking for attention or acknowledgement.
Marcus Sale said he don't like sex with her. It's deeper than the game. Game's got a pause button.
So can I, to that, right? I do want to say like a couple of things. My biggest thing was actually the fact that he came home. Because the way she described it, he came home. She was already in the room, right? He came home. He didn't even look for her in the house. He didn't acknowledge her at all to even know that she was in whatever suit she had on, you know what I'm saying, or
Mhm.
outfit or whatever. But he went straight to the game. For me, it's more of like if we've been apart from the day, and if we were like maybe newer in the marriage, why are you not saying, "Babe, I'm home"? Like what, like even to acknowledge that that you're home now, right? Like for me it's like it will be, the conversation would also be a little bit different if he was like, hey babe, they saw each other, you know what I'm saying, and then she was like, oh, okay, let me put this on real quick, you know what I'm saying, like, and then because like, did he even know that she was upstairs, like trying to woo him, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't think that he did because he got right on the game. She never said once that he even acknowledged that she was there, period. That's to that point. And I think to Lewis's point, I think that the way maybe that men think about initiating might be different than for women, right? Because if, even to your point around like um the way that like for the woman there's like the warm up, right? If you will. I think that sometimes the initiating is like I'm initiating the warm up, which is going to lead to the thing. So the initiation is not like the second round of initiation, if you will, right? To lose, which is your point, which is the actual act. But I think to warm up to that, it is like I am going to put on this lingerie, or I am going to, you know, do XYZ to kind of get you knowing that I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? So I
Okay.
think it could be two types of initiations.
Okay, I give you that. I this is what I'll say to the scenario without the full context of, who gets home first, what's typically the process, right? Like, I think a lot of times that's probably not norm for her to be like that, right? So already when I'm getting home, I'm not even thinking about that because that's not how it typically goes, right? Furthermore, I'm gonna just be real. I just hate this notion of like, oh, I did it and you ain't jumped. Oh no, I ain't doing that no more. Like, there's so many other factors than like, I'm gonna be real. My experience is when people just get home from a stressed out day, depending on if you got kids or how you do, that ain't like, bro, that ain't, some people decompress before they mind even ready to accept any type of input. But like this notion, God, I'm gonna get crucified. This notion that like because a woman initiated and felt rejection, it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm not doing that no more. Dog, like, you know how many times we had to do something and figure it out and keep stabbing at it? But like you tooted up twice in one night and now it's all over with because I ain't know. I'm just saying, like, I that is tough. Like, so now you're gonna stop forever.
I didn't say forever.
But your feelings will be hurt though, right? You will feel away though, right? How many times have you rolled like, nah, I'm good tonight, and rolled over and went to sleep? Not literally you, but I'm saying in general. You get what I'm saying? All those rejections don't matter because it's context to your tiredness. But you went the full 9 yards, and it may have been amazing. At the time, I ain't choosing no video game. I used to be heavy into video games. That's not me, but it was your first time. And we don't usually do that. So can I get some grace for the shock value?
After the fact. I think
Oh,
after
come
the
on.
fact,
Right.
no, I'm just being real because in the moment, the same way that you're saying like that he might not be even thinking about that at all because this is something that she has never done before. That in my mind, that means that she really like she was putting in
Went
some
out.
effort. Like she was like, let me try something that I had never tried before, that I've been too shy to try, that he's been saying that I don't do, XYZ. Let me try. And then if it's not acknowledged, yes, my feelings would be hurt. I would be
Mm-hmm.
like, I would probably say, I'm never doing that again
Mm-hmm.
until I have a conversation. And then it's like, hey, I had a long day. Da da da. You never do this. I wasn't expecting this to be the day. Then I'll still be a little salty about it, but I'm not going to be like, all right, I'm never doing that again. But in the moment, yes, my feelings are very much hurt. If I
So
tried something that I never tried before.
Asia, I'm gonna say that's valid only if he communicated that's the way he would want you to initiate when he came home before that happened. For you to try something like blindly and then hold me responsible for my reaction, and you don't even know if I like that, you just trying stuff. That's crazy.
I think that's unfair, though. I think that's unfair.
Yeah.
I think it's unfair to say that, Kenny, because I mean, you can't communicate all that with spontaneity. Being spontaneous.
That's a tough one, bro. It's a tough one. I ain't gonna repeat it.
Yeah. So being spontaneous.
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity. Yeah. Being spontaneous, I think is cool, right? Like I think like we've now set a standard to where we got to communicate everything all the time. But sometimes you don't know if you like something until somebody does it for you. Right. So I think it's unfair to try to set expectations for everything, especially sex sometimes. I think some of the best experiences come from it just happening. And someone just trying something, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's unfair. But what I will say is the amount of humility it takes for someone to put themselves out there, especially to a spouse, and to be rejected, even if it's spontaneous or not, right? The amount of humility it takes and to be rejected, like that is you're going to feel some type of way, you know, that's going to take a hit to your ego and none of us like rejection. Like you tell me someone that likes rejection, I'll show you a liar. None of us like rejection. And we've all dealt with it in some capacity. And then to be rejected by the spouse, right? Indirectly or directly, that's a whole nother level of hurt, you know, and a rebuilding process. So I get what you're saying, Keenan, and I think it's fair. And I think it takes a certain level of maturity to be able to handle that. But at the same time, I do understand anyone's perspective. I'm not going to categorize it to a man or a woman. Anyone's perspective of putting themselves out there and it not, you know, going as expected.
So, Lewis, I don't disagree, but let me clarify what I'm saying, bro. I don't disagree with you, but what I'm saying is the same way when we're being spontaneous, like the same way you're jumping out there, can I get the grace for my reaction that I would give you for you trying to be spontaneous is the point I'm making. Like I don't want your feelings to be hurt based off my reaction when you try something and I wasn't ready for it. So grace on both ends from there is what I'm saying. Because Asia was like, my feelings would be hurt. Like if that happened in real time, my feelings would be hurt. And what I'm saying is, unless you knew for a fact I told you this, don't take it as rejection because I didn't know.
That's fair.
What I'm saying.
That's fair.
Like, because it ain't like I said, like, yeah, babe, one day just have it tuned up when you know what I'm saying? And then you do it. I'm like, hey, man, hold on. I'm about to get on Madden real quick. I'll be right here. Stay just like that. And then I go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
that's the initiation I'm looking for.
As soon as Lewis did this with his fingers, I knew he was about to say something.
Yeah. All right. Any more thoughts on the video games over sex?
Nah, that's wild. He should have acknowledged his wife. That's all I'm gonna say.
He didn't know.
That's the problem, Keenan. When he got home, he should have said, "Hey, babe, I'm home. Let me give you a kiss because I ain't seen you all day."
If you give her a kiss and she in that position and you go downstairs, you in even more trouble.
That's a fact.
Best believe that. All right, so this next one is about who checks who. So we're gonna play a video of something that happened recently on reality TV, and it's about man protecting their wife. So let's watch the video and then we'll give thoughts.
All right. What happened last night? I'm gonna let that shit slide. All right.
Okay.
You don't need to speak to her no more.
I don't want to speak to her no more.
All right, so don't let it happen. All right, and then we ain't gonna have no problems.
Listen.
All right.
Tell her to stop saying the shit that she says.
No, she can say whatever she want to say.
Not to me, though.
Hold on.
Not to me.
No, she said whatever she want to say.
How do you want me not to talk to her and then she can say shit to me?
I'm telling you.
Does that make sense to you?
If she says something to you, you address me. You don't speak to her.
Shaq ain't gonna let nothing pop off. No, but I just need you to stay with me. Shaq ain't finna let shit pop off.
You tell her. Don't be coming at me with the crazy shit.
I'm telling you.
And if she come at me with some crazy shit.
Hold on. I'm telling you some shit right now. I know about the past, right? I ain't gonna go fight the past.
You know her side of the past.
Tell me something different then. Tell me something different.
You gonna find out.
Tell me something different.
You gonna find out.
You don't want to find out.
What don't I want to find out? Listen, I'm a doctor, bro. I ain't got time to be fighting with people who coming up and me talking, sending like veiled threats. I don't have time to fight you or anybody else.
I ain't making no threats.
I just hope she takes
I
her.
ain't making no threats.
I hope you sweep her off her feet.
I ain't making no
sweep her
threats.
as far as you can sweep her, bro.
Bro,
Look, I got no words for her.
I said one thing.
But tell her to stop saying shit
As long as
about
you
me.
ain't got no words, we good.
Man,
All
what,
right?
man?
All
What, man?
right?
Who you think you're
No,
talking to, bro?
man, I'm talking to you, mother.
We're not gonna promote violence. We're not gonna promote violence. So so this is my thing that I want, the conversation I want to have. In a space where you in a mutual trip or you in a mutual space with friends and your spouse and their spouses, right? And there's an exchange between opposite sex. So in my case, my wife with a woman, or in y'all case, your partners with a man, right? Who checks who? And is it right for, what's your thoughts on how he checked him? And is it right for who is supposed to approach you in that situation? What's y'all thoughts when y'all saw the video?
Yeah, that's my thoughts. I think that my man, I don't think that I should have discourse with the man. Like that doesn't feel right. I think that it should be my man talking to another man. And even just around like me and my man would have a private conversation. He could check me in private, but my man's also not gonna like check me in front of everybody. Like that's also shouldn't happen. But yeah, he could defend my honor. Sure.
Angel, but you wouldn't talk crazy. Never mind.
Hey man, hey,
No,
Lewis
but I'm
trolling
just
tonight,
saying
bro.
let's just say I was that type and I talk crazy. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I was that girl, that woman, that lady. Yeah, sure. My man can defend me. I'm not gonna no.
So I'm gonna say this, and understand that it's taken me a lot to say this because I am that girl, right? And I've put my father and my husband in some tight situations because my mouth can get the best of me.
Okay, accountability on this Monday night.
I will say this: I never think a man and woman should go back and forth. That's first and foremost, right? So even if I am wrong, if I'm loud, if I'm whatever, I think that the husband or whomever is there, the boyfriend, should step in and they like pull me to the side, take me out of the situation, whatever it is, have a conversation with me. The minute he gets loud and in my face because he doesn't like something that I'm saying, now you've put the spouse in a space where, okay, he is going to defend his spouse to a certain degree, even if I was wrong. And I do have that expectation. However, it's not on some like, yo, like she's right. I'm defending my wife because she's right. It's, yo, nigga, like take a step back. Why are you yelling in her face? She's loud. She's wrong. As long as I didn't touch him. Now, if we get physical, then that's a whole nother whatever. But if she's loud, let her run her mouth. You don't need to step into my wife's face as a man, right? That's 10 times, 20 times bigger than her to try and check her on something. Let her be wrong. I'm going to talk to her about it. She may be wrong. We can have an exchange later. You might be right. However, what you're not going to do because you're a man is step to my wife in her face and go at it. I just feel like there's levels of disrespect. And then, I mean, I have an expectation of you to come back and tell me, right? Like, no, you were disrespectful. Let's talk it out. Like, let's talk to the friend. No, you were wrong. But in that moment, I just feel like the opposite sex should just never, y'all, we should not be squabbled up. No.
Yeah. Okay. And we got a couple of joints off the bat real quick. We're going to tap back in. Ryan, appreciate you tapping in, bro. He ain't had to step to bro like that. Nah, I think he was a little aggressive. Black Shirt was talking like he knew he was going to beat the other guy up. We had, okay, as a lifelong, anybody can get cussed out, cussed the fuck out, man or woman. Now that I've grown up, I realize not to put a man in I care for in a position unless it actually absolutely necessary. This is the thing though. That's all of them. Marcus Sale said, oh no, okay, I read that one. This is my thing though. And I don't want to be this guy, but I'll say this, Brittany, to your point. I think in a general public space, you know what I'm saying, amongst friends, there's a little grace there because we all know each other. Like, ain't nobody gonna talk crazy when you know each other, right? My thing, the thing that I think is hard to manage is when brothers like, she could say what she want to say, you just don't say nothing.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's tough.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
and now I'm not gonna go back and forth with nobody's wife. I don't do that. If y'all know, I got a story about this in real time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna check out Millennials Rest of the World in about 2020. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what I'm saying is, like, it's a thin line, right? I'm not gonna ever disrespect anybody's wife, but I think it's a bad look if my wife is talking super crazy to a guy, and I gotta like try to manage both of them because now we gonna have the box regardless, because I ain't gonna do nothing with you in public. You know what I'm saying? I also ain't about to let bruh talk crazy. But I think the thing is, the only thing I didn't like with the approach was more so like, oh, she can say what she want. You just don't say nothing. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And I'm just not gonna argue with a woman. I don't think that's cool on no level. And I'm also not gonna be like, hey, bro, come get your wife. I'm just like, you got it. Because I don't know y'all dynamic. She might wear the draws, so you can't come get her. So I'm gonna chill out. Lewis, what's your thought, bro?
I think the same thing. I think the only thing I would disagree with one of our panelists is I'm gonna check my wife, and if she wrong, I'm gonna check her in public.
In public?
Damn right. I'm gonna say, hey, you wrong. You damn right. I'm like, hey, that's not it. That's not how we operate. We don't do that. That's wrong. You wrong about that. Like I'm gonna tell you,
Boy, that's
wrong.
gonna be the longest car ride.
Wait.
I don't give a fuck.
I didn't
initiate it.
Hold on. Are you checking her that she's wrong for arguing with this person, or are you checking her because she's wrong in whatever dispute they're having?
Not in dispute. How she's going about it. If you are engaging in that type of dialogue,
yeah.
Like, hey, you know you're wrong. Baby. Right? And I'm gonna defend you, and I'm gonna defend you to the ends of the earth, but this ain't how we do it. That's not it. And yeah,
and so
that's not what we do.
I could see that.
I'm gonna tap you on the leg and say, hey, baby, no, that's not it. We're not doing that.
Like,
We're not doing
I
that
could
today.
see that if like
that was a good way to
let's
roll
say-
back from checking her though, Lewis. That's not a check. That was
That
a
is
good
a
way
check.
to roll that back.
To me,
that's a good version of a check. The check that I think we were talking about would have been a little bit more like what are you doing? Like back, like no, like you're not talking to him right now. Like a little bit more that same energy he was
No.
giving that man,
aggressive,
like even like that, like sit in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think, but people, I think people use that as an excuse to be able to say and do whatever they want. I feel like some women abuse that because they know that there's certain limitations that the opposite sex is going to go, especially a real man that's not going to sit and argue with a woman, right? So I think they kind of take advantage of that sometimes. And then I think the men kind of use that as their opportunity to try to do what he did and try to belittle another man. You know what I mean? And tell him what he's not going to do. So I think that there's productive ways to do all of those things, right? But me, I'm my wife and I, we're in this together, right? If we go into a setting and we get into it, you get into it, I know I'm gonna be a part of that, regardless of whether I want to or not. So you represent us. So yeah, I have the right to immediately say, hey, we're not gonna do that today. We're not gonna do that today. Hey, brother, man, hey, I got it. Hey, we're not doing that today. And if he continues, then now I've interjected myself, and now he's seen me get in. Yeah, I've interjected myself. Now, if he chooses to continue, that's different. He chooses to continue, that's different.
I'm gonna be real, bro. If I'm gonna be honest, man, and you know, I'm not promoting violence. I think whatever the approach is, it can't be that. Like, don't come up to me talking like that, though. That dude started with what you did last night. I'm gonna let that slide. What?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he used that as an excuse to be able to go talk to somebody crazy.
Yeah.
Use that as an excuse to go talk to him like that, man. Like that, it doesn't call for that. If you really was that upset, you would have addressed it in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Especially
but
being friends.
yeah, but I just think in that instance, cameras off, real life, it ain't even about what happened last night no more.
Nope.
Like, you not gonna approach me like that, dog. Because I'm gonna have to see what everything you about to come with, you about to get what you came for. Like everything you talking about, I don't get that. See, and I think that's the thing, right? To Lewis's point, I'm about to give you what you came over here intentionally trying to do. You try to come off a different intent than trying to solve the issue from last night. And I think what people don't realize is I ain't trying to be buzzwordy, but like that's a form of gaslighting, bro. You gonna start like that? You gonna start like I'm gonna let that slide, and then you gonna pick the oldest dude there? Come on, man.
Wait, so I have a question though. So like Lewis, to what you said about like you would like check your wife, right? Your version of checking your wife in public. I get that part. And
He
it's like,
cleaned that up well, didn't he?
He did. He really did. I appreciate that. And then, but you said that you would say to your wife, like we don't do that. And then you would say to the guy, like I got her, right? Like I got this. And if he continues, but would you not like say anything to him in general because he was also engaging in a back and forth with your wife? So it's like, yes, check your wife in the moment, but like, is it just like a yeah, bro, like I got her? Or
It
like
depends
like,
on
he was also
it depends
talking to your
on
wife?
what I hate to say this, but it really depends on what's going on.
Hey man,
right?
Princess ain't here tonight, man.
If you really cut, if you cursing at my wife, I'm like, hey, we need to chill with all that. Like, hey, we're not doing that tonight because now I'm taking it as disrespect.
Yeah.
Right. Like I understand she stepped out of place. I'm checking that. I need you to check yourself, bro, for real. So I'm giving everyone an opportunity to figure out which direction they want to go in.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I
All right.
appreciate that.
So Chappelle said, what would you do, ladies, if you're dating and have the expectation for a man to defend your honor and he doesn't do it? Is that a red flag?
Yes.
Dating.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes. Yes.
What if you're the problem?
If I'm the problem, so I'm the reason why this man is like in my face.
It happens every day.
Yep. What if
It
you're the
happens
problem?
every day.
Man,
It does happen every day. But right, you're like
no, absolutely not.
You still have to defend me, sir.
Oh man, I don't know where that's at. I don't know where they do that at.
Yeah, hey, hold up, dog.
That's crazy.
Oh, so y'all telling me like we're dating, we're not engaged in a relationship, none of that. Y'all are the problem, and I'm jumping off every cliff because you the problem.
It happens every day.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
It
All
happens
right, go make me a
every
sandwich.
day.
Go make me a sandwich.
What?
Whoa.
See what I'm saying? That's the hypocrisy. That's the hypocrisy we're talking about. We are expected to defend y'all even when you're wrong. If we say make you a sandwich, oh, he's sexist, we're not doing that. That's crazy.
I didn't say I wouldn't make the sandwich.
But
said
that
where's
sounded.
it coming
But when I say that,
from? My
right?
man is hungry. I'm a cook. You know
But
what
no,
I'm saying?
listen. No, if I tell you to go, I'm telling you to go make a sandwich,
Yeah. Mhm.
whether I'm hungry or not.
Sure.
Are you using that tone?
Okay. No. My point is the expectations that we have of men. But but as men, if we project something as simple as that, right? We project that expectation on to a woman. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Because I mean,
hey, great point, Lewis.
Yeah, but I feel like women, to Asia's point, like women are naturally going to do that, Lewis. Like, I just feel like that's right. Wait, hold on. Let me finish. Or if they don't, if you come to them on some like, I'm hungry, however you want to word it, but your tone and delivery is everything. Go make me a sandwich. I'm not making you shit, nigga, till you talk to me differently. Like, that's just how I feel. You're not gonna stop laughing. I'm being serious. I'm not.
But your delivery is why I gotta. But your delivery is why I gotta put these paws on people all the time.
Or get paused.
But I'm just saying, like, it's different to Britt's point and to what you're saying, Lewis. If you're like, go make me a sandwich, that's different. If I'm like, if I go pick a fight with somebody, like with some man, then I run back to my guy, like, go defend me, go hit him in the face. You know what I'm saying? That's weird.
Is that not what y'all just said? Is that not what y'all just said subliminally? Is that not what was just said, Keenan? Did I interpret that wrong?
It absolutely is. Y'all said even if you were. Go ahead, Asia. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Asia.
No, I'm saying we're talking about, to Britt's point right now. She said it's about tone and delivery. So what I'm saying is that even with what Lewis said, it's very different. If it's like, babe, can you go make me a sandwich? That's very different than go make me a sandwich. I'm saying it's the same thing. We're talking about tone and delivery. That isolated, just that. Then if I'm the problem somewhere else, and then I run to my man, I'm like, you defend me now. You know what I'm saying? Like, gracious, like go, like that's weird. That's a weird behavior.
I think there's more of an expectation for us to defend you being the problem than there is for you to go make me something to eat every time I want it. I think that's the point. Am I not, Lewis? Am I getting that correct?
Regardless of how we just prefaced it and said, regardless if you're the one initiating it or not, if you're the issue, you both agree that it is still expected for us to do that. But when I say go make me a sandwich, now it's expected for me to ask you in a certain way.
Yeah.
Instead of you just making the sandwich.
She's talking about, yeah. Go ahead, man. Hey, go ahead, man.
I'm
go
not
ahead,
gonna,
man.
I'm not gonna change how I just.
So I'm not gonna fight because your mouth crazy.
I'm not asking you to fight. Like defending me and fighting is two totally different things. I'm not saying. I don't condone violence at all. But what I'm saying is, in that moment, like, you're not going to let somebody disrespect. If I'm wrong, even if I started it, you're not going to let somebody just disrespect me and we're supposed to just walk away from that. How do I then feel protected by you? Men are the protectors, right? Okay, so
I can't protect on an empty stomach.
Oh my God. Okay.
But we accept that. We accept, regardless of what we just sat here and said, regardless of how this situation comes out, that's the expectation of us. We accept that. Regardless of how it comes about, regardless how I ask you to make a sandwich, you ain't gonna make it based on how you get asked, how you get into that situation.
Yeah, well, that's y'all's problem. You can't put that on us. You just said y'all accept it. Okay, then y'all keep accepting that y'all are a red flag if y'all don't protect and defend. And I will keep saying, you better ask me nicely to make you a sandwich that I was gonna make anyway. Because I know if I'm hungry, you hungry too.
I see what you did there, Asia. I see what you did there, Asia. I see what you did there. I like that. Said, and men, if you're dating a girl and she puts you in that situation multiple times, would you address it the same way each time? Yeah, you got two. And we ain't gonna be together. There ain't no multiple times after that. I ain't about to keep dealing with that. Can't even go out to eat and you like, oh no, dog. I'm gonna be real with you.
I agree though. I think shorty, like the men, I think the woman, even in the first scenario, right? I do think that the man should check his lady though. Like, even if it's just a first time thing, like I'm not saying, like, even if it is, yes, I have the expectation that my guy's gonna defend me. I also don't expect for us to la-di-da out of there and him not to bring it up. Like, why was you talking crazy? And this is why you can't have bottomless mimosas, right? And this is exactly why.
Yeah.
Like, I also expect that conversation to come with it. So it's not like I'm saying defend me and then that's it. I also expect for there to be a secondary conversation as to why I put you in that position in the first place.
Hey, so y'all talk crazy. He check you publicly. You being quiet. If he got the same tone he was just asking with the sandwich.
If he checks me in public, why is he checking me in public? We just talked about this. So with the same tone, he could check me how Lewis said, like, we're not doing that. Like, chill. Like, go get you some water. Just just chill out for a second. That to me, that's acceptable.
You know what I envision?
Why do you keep putting me in this position?
Hey, you know what I envision? You know what I envision? Y'all smack say, hey man, stop touching me, man. Hey, look, dog, you better stop. You know what I'm saying? That's what you knock his hand off and keep going. What then? What?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know her. I can't comment on that. I think that's weird.
Brittany, would you care to answer?
No.
Oh, okay.
What if the roles was reversed? Would y'all feel that same sense of entitlement if it was a woman versus with us?
Is she talking to my man?
Yeah.
She's getting checked immediately. I wouldn't even think twice about that. Because why are you in his face? Move.
Okay. Respect.
I digress.
All right, y'all. We got a scenario, and then we're gonna get into the topics of the night. Hey, good conversation, y'all. All right, man. So I'm gonna read it. Y'all stay with me. I can't put it on the screen because it's too long. So boom, we've been dating for almost a year and everything seemed cool until my spirit started whispering, sis, something ain't right. Little things weren't adding up, like him sleeping with his phone tucked under his pillow, like it was his side chick. My intuition was loud, so I did what any woman with sense would do. I checked that phone. And baby, when I tell you my soul left my body, turns out he was entertaining a transgender woman who still had his original parts. I confronted him. This man had the audacity to say he ain't gay. It's just a fetish. The question is, if a man is hiding his sexual desires from you, is it deception or just him exploring his identity privately? And the second question is, how open are you to letting your partner explore their fetishes? And is there a limit to what you'll be willing to participate in?
Well, that took so many turns.
That's too heavy. That's too heavy, bro.
That was okay. Wait, we gotta start with one question at a time.
What you say?
That's too heavy, bro. I ain't ready for no question like that.
Hey, did I not give you the disclaimer, ladies? What y'all think, man? That happens. Tell me y'all thoughts.
Wait, what are the? Can you ask just the question part of it?
Okay, question one is, if a man is hiding his sexual desires from you, is it deception or just him exploring his identity privately?
If he's hiding it,
no,
then
that's
it's
deception.
Yeah.
It's deception.
Hey, look, so
deception.
Especially if he's exploring it like while we're together, that's definitely deception.
I'm gonna go on a limb right here. I'm gonna jump out there, man. The original part thing, bruh, got to check himself, man. He might be on the other side of the fence, man.
Yeah, right.
That's a fetish.
So I'm just being real. A scenario got sit there, so I owe it to this person to answer it honestly. The original part thing, both parts, but the original part thing puts you like over the fence, man. Like that's something that ain't about exploring. Bruh battling something to me inwardly that he need to let out elsewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To answer the question, go ahead, Brittany.
Honestly, I mean, let me tread lightly. In this day and age, let me tread lightly. I don't think I think there's a lack of respect for me. And I'm saying that because I feel like if you have to hide anything or if you're into that or whatever, like let me choose. I think that's a very selfish act to hold me as a partner and keep me here as a placeholder of your girlfriend or whatever, especially if we're getting really serious and then you're still out exploring or having other sexual desires of some sort and we didn't have a conversation. That's a selfish act to me. And it's a lack of respect for me too, because I feel like you could have easily just came to me and let me decide if I want to deal with that. Because if I'm, I almost said something wild. If I'm straight and narrow and that's it, and I don't want to be involved with somebody that explores sexually, whether it's threesomes, whether it's transgenders, whatever it is, then that's unfair to me to then for you to pop something like that up on me and I have to find out through looking through your phone, which I would have never done that either. Looking through the phone as well.
I mean, so we got a comment. Someone said you going to explore it privately and without breathing. R.I.P.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. I'm gonna be honest. It had a lot of shock value before I read it and said it there. I think so. The thing about going through the phone, right, Brittany? I'm a flip sides real quick. I only feel like this is gonna sound crazy coming from a guy. I only feel like looking through the phone isn't worth it when you don't find anything. Like something like it was right. They found whatever was bothering them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's only a bad thing if you don't find what you're looking for, right? If somebody does that and they found what they're looking for, I don't think it's crazy to me, because that was the point of it, right? Now, if you do that and there was nothing, intuition, we can have that conversation at a later date. But like, hey, you went, you had a feeling, you acted on that feeling. I'm gonna say a gut feeling. You acted on that, and you found what you was looking for.
Yeah,
Lewis,
but
what's
you
your thoughts, bro? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brittany.
no, just to the phone point. I feel like, yeah, you found what you were looking for. I mean, they say this, they say that you're gonna find what you're looking for if you look through the phone. I just feel like having a conversation before taking that step to look through somebody's personal stuff, like for me, is just bigger than what it is. Like I'm not a firm believer in going through. If I gotta look through your stuff, then it's time to talk about where we're at in this relationship.
Hey, man. Well, you say that. Don't be sleep with the phone under your pillow. To me, that's what I'm saying. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, Lewis, what's your thoughts, bro? You mighty quiet, brother.
You know, man, I think for that scenario, you know, speaking from the woman's perspective, I think I think there had to be signs for her to go to that extreme.
Mhm.
And then for what was uncovered, for that to be, if in the minds of many, to be that far extreme, I think there were signs of it. I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, there's certain things that I don't understand about people who are attracted to trans people, because, and here's why, like, and I hope this makes sense. It's like you're attracted to someone that is making a transition to something that you wouldn't normally be attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So so why wouldn't you just want that? You know?
I think, yeah. I think that's why like this person phrased it as like, oh, it's just a fetish, right? Because what it sounds like is that it's a curiosity thing. It sounds like it's like a, well, what is that like, right? Like, is it, especially if and I don't remember what the transition is, but like, especially if it is like, okay, well, is it the same? Does it feel, this might feel safe, right? Like, it's like, I think because it is for some people, like yeah, for some people, it is like a, okay, well, I mean, it's not all the way, you know what I'm saying? It's not, I mean, so I do think that for some people, it feels they would then qualify it as that fetish. And that's where I think that's where that comes from. But yeah.
Okay. That was
Hey,
it.
man,
That was
appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. Make sure you get a video a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not, man. Thank you for everybody that's tapping in. We got a comment really quickly before we go to the topics of the night. Deception is different from exploration. Don't mask your lack of self-acceptance as my insecurity. Yeah, it's time for that to go. The thing I'm gonna say to you, Lewis, to the point, not to you, but to the point you were making, I think what makes that scenario different is this guy was entertaining, I'm assuming the transgender woman looked like a biological woman, but had an original part. I think that's the kind of the separation in this scenario specifically. Like, I'm not saying that that them being a transgender is not a separation, but like, why that part too? I guess is what I'm saying. That makes it a little iffy. Is what I'm saying make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this make me upset. Go explore when you're single. Like, like,
Yeah.
why are you with me? If you want to explore, do your thing. But the fact that they were like hiding stuff, that's deception. If you're
Yeah, for
hiding
sure.
anything, that's deception.
Yep.
And that's not safe. That's not safe if you messing with both of these people at the same time. That's not safe for the young lady, man. That's dangerous.
Yep.
I watched Snap too many times, bro. That's how people end up on that, man. No funny. All right. It's me and Asia's vibe for the night, man. Let's get into the topics of the night. All right, my good partner. I'm gonna throw it to you first.
I got the first one. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong thing. This one, right?
Yep.
Which should happen first?
No. You got one. No, that's me. You got the other one.
Oh. Hold on. My bad, partner. My bad.
You good.
Your partner expresses that they want to see a change in a certain behavior, but they use the comparison to do it. Like, they'll say like, "Oh, my ex used to do da 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 da." So they use their ex as a way to of like explain it and showing like the difference and the change that they want to see in you. What y'all think about that?
No,
Is that
no, not okay.
Even if the ex did not have a negative, they didn't have a negative interaction, or that's not somebody she desires. She just
Get another reference point.
Why are we talking about somebody from your past? Why are you comparing me?
okay. They're using a comparison for someone that you don't know, but they're still using another person to compare that thing to. You two.
No, just no.
May I ask why?
Why? I'm asking why. I'm asking the partner why. Like, why are you doing why? Because so for me, it's like, oh man, if I say this,
say
no, because this happened. This happened in real life. And I was excited about something. Let me not give too many details. I was excited about something, and every time I explained the process to get to that thing, it was like, oh yeah, she told me about that. This is how you have to do it. Oh yeah, she did that too. Yeah, I remember that. And it's like, if you bring her up one more time, I swear to God, I'm gonna leave you at this table. And I legit got up, went to the car, and we had a conversation later on about that. And I said, I just feel like if it's something as for, I'll say that it was applying for a job, right? Like something as simple as that. Why is she your reference point? Why is your brain taking you back to her because I brought up applying for a job? Why couldn't you bring up anything else to use to help me to get to whatever if you thought that you were going to hand out some advice that I didn't ask for? So it's already unsolicited, right? And then you're using somebody from your past that I know you had bent over backwards. No, thank you. It's just it's no for me.
Hey, just a backup question to that. What about if he was using another woman, but not anyone from his past? Just another exemplar.
I don't know about that one. I mean, I guess
worse if you know that person?
Huh?
Is it worse if you know that person? So let's say it's not an ex, but it's somebody that you both know, that he knows that you know.
It depends on what we're talking. Like, what are you comparing me? Like, what is this conversation about? Right? Like, if we're talking about like how I look in a dress versus my resume, that's two totally different things.
Hey, yo, you should get your hair done like this. What you think about this?
No, I shouldn't.
Okay,
No.
I changed my verbiage. I really like this style. What you think about this style?
Okay. I mean, you're entitled to like a style. Okay, cool. If it's on somebody I know, it's like, but I mean, I'll take that. That's not because then it turns into an insecurity. But then I just feel like you can have that open conversation. You're entitled to like hair. If she got her curly hair and I'm rocking straight hair and it's something that you like, I'm okay with that.
Louis B, you quiet, my brother.
At first I was like no, but then I'm thinking, and there have been scenarios in which I've encountered that personally, and I wasn't offended. It depends on the context of the conversation. I served in the military. There was ex of my wife's who served in the military too, right? So there are things that were compared that we just had in conversation. I think it's your maturity level, but if we're talking about things that are intimate, that are specific to our relationship, not our experiences, but our relationship, I think that's where a hard boundary has to be created. But if it's just like generally speaking about life, if you were really close, I think it's almost impossible. If you were really, really close to or with someone for a certain amount of time, an extended amount of time, it's almost impossible for them or you not to have them as a reference point for something.
I'm glad you said that.
It's almost impossible. Now, after you've been together for so long, that slowly goes away, obviously. But I think it's almost impossible to not have a reference point for something, whether it's a place, a location, an experience, a family member. You know, it's almost impossible. So I think it, Princess is in here. I think it depends.
Louis, do you feel like, I agree with you. I just don't think it should be verbal. Certain things shouldn't be verbalized all the time. Like,
Yes.
that's my only thing that I agree. But like, even a restaurant or what, you don't have to say like, oh, I came here with my ex 5 times. This was her favorite. Like, or I tried this with
Man,
like,
that's
you
it.
don't
That
have
happened to me one time, boy. I got hot, boy.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could just say, yeah, I've been here before. You know, I've been, and I've been on a date here before. You know, that's cool too. But you don't say it every time you ride by.
Hey,
Sometimes I think sometimes this happened to me before though, back in the day. I think sometimes though, like you get stuck in a hole. What I mean by that is this: I had a situation where I had a pair of shoes, right, that somebody had bought for me, a guy bought for me, and then I was dating somebody still wearing the shoes because the shoes ain't do nothing to me. And so it was like, oh, who bought you those shoes? Oh no, those are nice shoes. Yeah, thank you. Who bought you those shoes? What am I supposed to say? I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you should. See, that's what's wrong.
Right?
People don't be wanting to lie when they should. Sometimes lying is good, man. Like you ain't like sometimes you gotta lie.
And say what? Because to be fair, I said, oh, it was a gift. Oh, a gift from who? It's like at this point you want to know. Like you want to be
Man,
mad.
my cousin got them for me.
I'm not lying about it.
And that's people problem. Sometimes it ain't. Sometimes what's coming after the truth ain't worth it.
Right. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Asia, it's our topics of the night. I'm not trying to.
Okay. All right, partner.
I
All
agree
right.
with Asia. I agree with Asia on that. I'm
Louis,
not lying to make you
hey,
comfortable.
Louis, the whole truth thing ain't got nothing to do with you. It's just us three. We know how you are. We know what you gonna say. But this is so Louis, you telling me, brother. Now I got to switch to you. You telling me sometimes you don't analyze like, is this going to get me what I want out of it if I say this? Or just because they ask, you feel the obligation to tell?
Yeah, but I'm going to really think about how I give that answer.
So you don't think there's no answer worth saying? Like what if Asia just would have said, you don't want to know that?
I was give a disclaimer. Yeah, like sometimes I'll give a disclaimer depending on the severity of the outcome. I'll give a disclaimer. Or I'll make it like some that old bald headed girl gave this to me. You know what I'm saying? Make it a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, to disarm somebody. Like I'll figure out a way to reference it.
So why, if she bald headed, why you still got it?
You know, they are nice though, ain't they? They look good. She got something right.
All right. So we use comparisons with our exes as a reference point to highlight trauma points in healing in new relationships and explaining what we don't want to experience again. I was actually about to say that. The only time I think comparison is good is when you're using it to set a boundary for what you don't want in the next relationship. And I think sometimes things could be so monumental in your life that it doesn't fade away, like Louis said. Like this thing did happen a long time ago, but it was so traumatic for me that I'm not moving off that reference point for that thing. I do want to really quickly go back to the shoe situation with Asia. So Asia, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Louis. Do you feel obligated because they asked? Or is it just like I gotta shoot the truth no matter which way this thing go?
I felt obligated because they asked me a question. I'm not gonna lie about something. And to be honest, it's really because like I had multiple pairs of shoes, right? So now I have to think of a lie every time. Like that's exhausting for me. I don't feel like that's worth it. I would rather if you get mad about it, you get mad about it. You can have an opinion about it, but you won't be able to say that I lied about it. And now you can respect me moving forward to know that I'm not going to lie about something as simple as where did I get these shoes from? Because I'm really the type of person, at least for me, I think like if you lie about who got you some shoes, you won't lie like for shoes.
So
like you really could lie about something else that is you feel is more worth that lie.
Asia, but why can't you say you don't want to know that? That's not lying.
I could have. I could have said that. But if
so
you
my point
said,
is why do you want to say the truth over saying like you don't want to know that?
Because in my head, the truth is the truth. I don't like it. For me, especially with certain things, like my shoes, at least, and I'm gonna be real, I knew for a fact that he was asking for, it was for his ego, if I can be honest, because after that, he then took me to go buy some shoes. Like it was really a for him thing. It really wasn't it was like who got you those? Oh, he got you those. All right, come on, let's go.
So really you got 2 shoes out of the deal. 2 pairs.
I got
They need to work that system.
Yeah. Hey Lewis, and a what? Anyway, all right. So
time anyone?
Hey yo,
she was doing this Shador a long time ago.
Yeah, for sure. To get a follow up before we ask our second question, what about does it cross over to celebrities not mattering in the comparison? If somebody's trying to communicate a message to in the relationship, like can they communicate via celebrity because that's deemed untouchable? Whatever it may be, can they use that? Can they utilize that?
Yeah.
That is so crazy to me, man. I think that's the wildest shit in the world. All right. I really do. That really gets out of my skin, but we're gonna move on to the next thing. All right.
Wait, time out. Have you been compared to a celebrity before, my brother?
No, I didn't say compare me to a celebrity. You could compare, you're comparing something you may want that I may not be doing. The person should matter to me. No matter who it is. You get what I'm saying? Like, so if I say, like, if you, let me make sure I say this right before I get someone. So, like, if you going back to the scenario about the video games, right? And you trying to explain how you wanted to do it on the bed before you come home. And whether it's Meg Thee Stallion or somebody you don't know, you say, hey, have it like this sitting down when I get here, though. It don't matter who it is. That's crazy, bro.
If that's what I want.
But it doesn't matter who you're using as the reference point is what I'm saying.
But see, so that's not comparing. That's just giving me an image of why you want it.
But earlier when I said, hey, do you like this hairstyle? He was like, hell no, don't let it be nobody I know. There's no difference.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. But when we're talking about celebrities in the example that you just gave, I just feel like if Lewis's wife knows that he likes Meg Thee Stallion, like and she's a celebrity crush, quote unquote, because he's made it known, and then he says, I want it tooted up when I get home like this. To me, that's not a comparison. That is a legit reference point of how he wants it based off of who he saw.
We are recording this while we.
You're stupid, man.
But sometimes but that actually makes a good point. Maybe I want that from you. Yeah, I saw it with this person, but I want you. I want that with you.
But agree. I agree.
So I don't think so. Like, I think if you say that, you have to make sure that it is specified to them. Hey, I see Beyonce's here. I was gonna say something. My wife would get me, but yeah.
Good job.
He shut up quick.
Yeah, because I didn't. Yeah,
he got that tap on the leg. He got that tap on the leg. Like, hey, you better shut
nah. It's nah.
Hey, Chappelle said, I wish my man would show me a picture of his ex tooted up and say, hey, nah, hey, Chappelle, I wasn't saying the ex.
What?
No.
First of all, why do you still have the pictures? Second of all, why is the name in your mouth? Like, this is...
My name is Keenan Mills, and I do not approve that message. I am not saying
that's funny.
No. God. What I'm saying is, I just think it's awkward that somebody. So, like, let's not use celebrities and not use somebody you know, right? So, but you got I don't want to say IG model, but you got a blue check that you like, that you follow. She may not even be that famous, but you like her, right? You use that as a reference point. Or an everyday girl that you came across your timeline that you showed something to reference to. I just think it's crazy that that can happen, but if it's a celebrity, that shouldn't happen. But if it's a celebrity, it can. That's the only point I'm making. That's the only point I'm making. That's just awkward for me. I don't get it. All right, but moving on. So my next question, in the name of healing, we've been talking about trauma, trauma reference points and things like this. So you're in a relationship and you find that some healing needs to take place. What comes first, individual therapy or couples therapy? Meaning, like, you see some issues, y'all had a conversation. Do you feel like you go to therapy individually first and then y'all make it a couples therapy? Does couples therapy come first? What's y'all thoughts on, in that process, which one should come first?
Neither. I think they're done simultaneously.
Okay.
I think individual therapy should happen as well as couples therapy, but I also think if you have a good couples therapist, they take you out individually and talk to you individually about certain things, so you can come back together and kind of take on those things. But I do think individual therapy, sometimes when we have couples therapy, it's hyper focused on what's happening in the relationship, communication, we're talking about all the things that's the foundation of a relationship. And then it could go back to some sort of trauma, childhood trauma. Attachment styles is something big that we like to use in couples therapy. But then if you're talking individually, you can really get to the core root of something. Because in couples therapy, I will say that once they bring out that core trauma or healing that inner child, and then your partner's looking at you sideways, like, I kid you not, it comes up all the time where it's like, oh, well, that's why. Oh, that's connected. You were looking for love in all the wrong places because your mama didn't give it to you. Like, it could cause more damage in your relationship than if you go and heal that part of you individually. So I definitely think they should happen simultaneously at the same time with different therapists.
So Louis B.
I think sound like someone trying to get some billable hours, but what I'm thinking is
maybe.
So I think it's individual first, and
okay,
because you didn't do it before you got into a relationship or got married or to a commitment, I think the couples therapy does have to be a part of that journey, though, right? But I think first, individually, you have to do the work on you to understand yourself and your responses and why you respond to things that way, and who you truly are. It's, speaking personally from my journey, it allowed me to understand why things were showing up, to Brittany's point, in my relationship, not only in my marriage, but in my parenting and at my job. You know what I'm saying? Or in my interactions with friends. Like, it allowed me to understand some of the things that I've been dealing with. And I think I got so much more of being able to just pour and really I don't want to say be selfish, but really prioritize me. Because I think the better me I am, the better that relationship and the better I'm going to be for that relationship. So I think you have to get into a certain point to where you can actually recognize and understand how therapy can help you as a person before you start bringing that into an environment with someone else.
Hey, so Louis, can I ask you a question to that?
Mm-hmm.
Before you went you said that question now based off your experience that you had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you went on your own, did couples therapy push you to individual, or did Louis seek individual first?
Louis sought individual first. I don't think couples therapy would have been as effective if I didn't go on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have been able to understand. It would have been productive, but I really had to understand me. I really had to understand me. And I think, like, when you commit or you marry somebody, I think it's two individuals becoming one. Right. And I think as that journey progresses, you're still your own person while you two are moving in this direction together. And I think that it's important for two people to have a really strong sense of understanding of themselves so that they can understand how they both need to move forward together. So that's why I think that individual part is so important, because people get lost and wrapped up in the idea of being married and in marriage, that they lose sense of self. And I think you have to first define that and center yourself there before you can move effectively or as effectively as you can on that journey together.
Well said, brother. Partner, what you think? What's for you? Which comes first? Which comes second?
I think, I think individual should come first. But I do think that with couple, like I don't think it should end though once you start couples counseling. To Britt's point, like I definitely think that when you're in couples counseling, I think that you do have to have that space that you then go back to process what just happened in couples counseling, absent from your partner. Because a lot of times, and granted, that is not my area of expertise. That's all Britt. But in my mind, with couples and stuff like that, like there are certain things that's going to come up in that session that you did not anticipate, that you did not think about, that when y'all have to leave from that session, it's going to be an awkward car ride home. And you do need a safe space to then go to process how you then receive that messaging. How did that sit with you, and the things that you did not even say, right? Because there are some things too that the partner might not know is a trigger or did come up, all those things. So I definitely think individuals should come first, to Lewis's point. And then I think being able to introduce couples counseling, but then I think it should kind of maintain at the same time.
Yeah. And I'm gonna double down on what Lewis said, but just in a different way. Just make sure you're not going to therapy for anybody else. Because when I went, it was solely just like, oh no, I gotta figure this out. Now I will say this, that I'm what's the buzzword vulnerable. When I went, bro, it just made me like, I think it could work both ways, right? Like nobody's perfect. You learn a lot about yourself, but it also reassured me that I wasn't crazy in certain instances. You know what I mean? Like the thing that you think may be crazy or that you shouldn't be reacting to, or the way you react to something, you could go and realize like, oh no, dag, I have been handling that the right way. I will say this. I think it is very hard to operate in a relationship if only one person is seeking individual.
Boy.
I think that is so hard to operate in that space because you're learning so much about yourself and you're healing parts of you. And the one thing I appreciate about my wife, when I went, she went just because she was like, I don't want you to feel like you on that journey by yourself, even if she didn't necessarily feel like something that she had to do on her own, but she took the initiative to show me like, I don't want you to be working on yourself and you think I'm not. So I appreciated that. Right. But in the very same note, as I'm very high on like self-improvement, right? If you are not aligned with getting you and your partner wanting to get better individually, boy, that can cause some turmoil. What? It really can. You got to be real about it. And I'm gonna be real about couples therapy that I don't like. Be real. Be feel like you don't be talking about the real shit. You be talking about what we picked in the car last night for dinner, and we got a bigger issue outside of why we bickering over that small thing. I think sometimes in couples therapy, if it's not approached to actually solve the problem and it's only approached by the couple to be heard, that's a venting session. Like if you don't have an intent or a goal of why you all are going to fix an issue that you can't understand, and you're going just to, it sounds good, but y'all just want to be heard. You want the other person to hear you without judgment. She wants you to hear me, but I ain't really here for no goal. That's counterproductive to me.
That's the therapist's job, though. A lot of couples come in for that reason, Keenan, just to be heard. It's a he say, she say, pointing fingers all session long. But it's up to the therapist to then jump in and say, okay, stop. Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what she said? Repeat it back to me. What did you hear? And as you sift through those conversations, you connect the dots of, hey, you remember when you said X, Y, and Z back when that triggered you? That's your trigger. Let's talk about it. Did you know that triggered him? Like your therapist has to connect those dots because a lot of times couples come into those. They do. They come into those spaces just wanting to be heard. Like we got in an argument last night. You're not listening to me. So we got a therapist that's a middleman that's going to let me talk. It's not about just talking. It's conflict resolution. So what are we going to get out of this? If your therapist is not giving you that, then you need to find somebody else.
I agree.
And hold on, let me
ahead.
double down too. From the individual therapist side too, like it's the same thing. Like people that come into individual therapy also just want to vent. And it's like, yeah, sure, that can be a part of it, right? But if you are going to a therapist, whoever's listening, and you are never challenged, if you go there and you are never in disagreement with your therapist, right?
Man.
You should feel somewhat challenged by them.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Mhm.
that's not right. I'm not avoidant. No, like you should have those moments, right? You should not ever feel like, whew, I'm glad I got that off my chest, and you didn't learn anything. You didn't have a takeaway, right? If you're doing that, I'm gonna be honest, you're wasting your money. You could just call a friend for that.
Yeah.
That's the part I wasn't
Um,
prepared for when I went. I was like, yo, I'm really pissed off at this lady right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
honestly, that's really where my healing journey began, is when I got pissed with my therapist, you know. But then what helped is that I talked to other people that had been going to therapy and they had the same experience.
Oh yeah.
They had this
I think
exact same experience where they got upset, right? But when they went back, you know, they were able to understand kind of what they were saying. But it is a journey.
Mm-hmm.
And to Keenan's point, I think the thing that therapy did, I know we talk about something else, but I think this is a very important conversation, y'all. So sorry. I
No,
think
you
what
good, bro.
therapy does is it validates your feelings. It may not always validate the responses. It may not always validate the way you handle it, but it validates your emotion and your feeling in response. And no one's ever wrong. And that's why I can get to a place now where I can have conversations and have conflict resolution. You guys experience that firsthand, because I'm able to understand that regardless of whatever the intention was or what the experience was or how things, the factual element of it, you felt a certain way. And now I can empathize with how you feel. While I don't agree, I can empathize with how you feel. And I think therapy has allowed me to evolve to that point. And I think it is one of the most powerful tools that we can leverage as a society. Sorry, that's my spill.
It was beautiful, bro. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
I got a question for Asia and Brittany. So hey y'all, this is how we are. We just rapping. So can you validate without empathizing? Like how Lewis just said, like therapy validates your feelings, and like now he said, you know, no side is really wrong. It's perspective based. Boom, boom, boom. Now I can empathize with how you feel. Can I validate your feelings without empathizing with them?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so, and only because like even when you are validating, right, and you can empathize, it does not mean that you would also handle it the same way, right? It's being able to say like, I can see, like, I use it a lot, like I can see how that would make you upset. Like I would never get upset about that, but because I know you, your personality, temperament, I can see how you would get upset by that. Right? I have both empathized, being able to see it from your perspective, and I validated your feelings that you felt upset by that thing, even though I don't necessarily feel the same way, or I wouldn't handle it the same way. So I think they go hand in hand.
Okay. All right. All right. So both, because y'all are together, y'all are mirrors of each other in some way. It also shows if both partners are willing to elevate together by individual and group work. Lewis, I think this is to you, Black Man Healing and Therapy. Lewis made a great point about knowing yourself to go as you go into a relationship. There are triggers that you need to know exist and how to navigate separate from a partner. I wholeheartedly agree. Asia, we're gonna bump that last one and get into fair or foul because of time. Is that cool? I'm assuming
Yes.
she said. Okay.
Yes.
All right, bet. All right, we got one fair or foul, y'all, and then we're gonna get up out of here. All right, man. So this one is from the group chat, man. You know what I'm saying? You hop in the DM, you rapping, you saying, yo, what's good, da da da. Someone knows you. You asked a lady on a first date. She says yes, but she doesn't give you her number. Fair or foul?
What?
So like I know a woman. We communicate via socials. That's how we've been talking. I asked her on a date. She says, yeah, that's cool, but doesn't give me her actual number yet. But we are going on a date and we're communicating via socials. Fair or foul?
Fair.
I think
That's
that's fair.
You've been communicating that way all this time. So, I mean, what's the difference?
Man, Lewis, what you think, bro? Before I say,
I think it's fair. I think people can, because of social media, you can now determine the level of access you give someone. So I think it's fair.
man,
I think it's stupid, but I think it's fair.
Yeah. Hey, there go. Hey, see, that's the verbiage we was just talking about. It's good, bro. That's good. Let me use A's words. I can see why you think that stupid shit is fair. Like, let me use that verbiage. You know what I'm saying? Nah,
that was good, partner. That was good.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not going.
What?
I'm not going.
You're gonna throw the whole date away?
Dog. Hey, let's be real about something. If I feel comfortable enough to ask you on a date and you don't feel comfortable enough to give me your number, why are we going on a date?
But did you ask her for her number, or did she just not give it to you?
Hey,
why? Like, how did you get to asking somebody on a date and you didn't have their number in the first place, and then you get mad when you don't get the number and you ask them on the date?
Hey, Marcus Sell, man, let them know something, man. Not going out and not have your number. That's insane, man. Let them know something.
Why
dog.
was it not? Can I ask, like, why was it not a priority to get the number first before you started even communicating that deep to get to the point of a first date? Like now it's important for you to have.
Hey,
my
look, hold
number?
on. So like scenario, Earth 99. You feel me? Yo, what up, Dada? We've been rapping, and I say we're all in the DM. Yo, I'd love to take you out to lunch. Oh yeah, that's a bet. That's cool. I would love to do that too. Typically, if she actually wants to go, here's my number. If I say that and she go, oh yeah, that's cool, and we leave it there, you don't like me for real. I don't want to go to lunch somewhere.
I can say the same thing. You don't like me for real because you ain't asked for my number. Why didn't you follow up and say, well, let me get your number so I can talk to you, or let me get your number so I can text you, or let me get your number so I can send you more details?
Hey, how many times you withheld your number for somebody you like?
How many what?
How many times you withheld your number from somebody you like?
It doesn't matter. That's not the question.
I bet it don't.
I'll say something because Keena, I think you have a point with this one in this regard. Because I'm thinking, even to get to, well, granted, we all know I'm not a social media person anyway, but let's say I was. But for me, I'm thinking like if there's somebody that I'm interested in, one of my first things is like, just text me. It's just easier. Now, for some people, it's not easier like it is because they're always on social media or whatever. But yeah, if I like somebody, I would go out of my way to just be like, just text me. We wouldn't have gotten to the place that you're asking me out on a date through a DM. First of all, I really do think that you should have asked for the number way before you planned the date, first date, in a DM. That's weird to me. So
I think this is a more of a generational based perspective because you know, a lot of young people below us, I know Keenan, you're in education, that's how they communicate with one another. That's literally what they don't even ask for the number now. They ask for Instagram or
But they also
Snap.
don't go on dates, Lewis.
They probably don't go on dates either, right? So and they're like, hey, meet us at you want to go on a date? Let's meet here, right? So we meet there, what's the point? And then I wouldn't see that as a way for me to not go. I would just say, hey, okay, maybe this person isn't comfortable with that yet. It's more about the date than it is for me and my ego of having your number, to be honest with you. If I'm asking you.
I respect what you're saying, brother. We don't disagree that often. 2 times in one show. I'm going to agree with Marcus Sell here. Why would you withhold your number for someone whom you agree to see in person with?
I think that's a bit. I think that's. I use that word withholding very lightly. It might just be a miscommunication, right? Because I just feel like the same way that your eyes literally touched the ceiling. The same way that you're anticipating the phone number. I mean, she could be anticipating the ask. I don't think it's that serious to not go on a first date. And honestly speaking, like she could have easily gave her phone number just as much as you could have easily asked.
My thing is, my thing is, I'm gonna just have to stand on my opinion. Like I just think she don't like you like that for real. If she says yes through a DM, even if she gave the number after she said yes, right? Like Nah, dog. And I'm speaking from my age. I'm not speaking because this is also the other thing that I would have to give millennials credit for, right? 9 times out of 10, we vetted to the point of safety. That person that made it through the great group chat, all your people's peeped all done, you done did your Facebook, so you done did all that. So like we vetted to the point where, like, okay, cool, hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think there are people that you may shoot your shot. Because what if the communication isn't as much, right? Somebody says, hey, look, somebody, hey, all right, I'm gonna put that up there. I ain't shameful. So I just think like, yeah, no, I'm not. I think it's nothing wrong with talking to somebody DM, but at our big age, it should transition into, because how have we've never talked on the phone, but we're gonna go on a date.
Why'd you ask me?
Why'd you say yes? Why'd you say yes? But hold on, why'd you say yes?
Because clearly there's a mutual feeling that we like each other, that we're interested in one another. A first date can be anything to get to know each other a little bit better. So like by you talking on the phone is going to determine whether you go on the date or not. Why did you ask me on a first date if you didn't have my phone number already, if that was such a big deal for you? Like, I'm not understanding that part.
Hey, where Marcus Sell at, man? Let's assume he asked.
Oh my gosh.
Where
Now, if he asked and you didn't give, then that's withholding.
All right, she said, why not just ask? Your pride got you feeling all rejected. Yeah, for sure. Like, this is the thing. Like, this is what I hate. I hate, like, you show somebody that like rejection. What you say earlier, Lewis, about rejection?
No one likes it.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah. Like, see, this is the problem. A lot of people in the millennial joint, like, ain't never got that, like, like, you ain't get that when you was younger, so you don't know what it feel like. So people scared of it now. That ain't the issue. To me, I'm not, now respectfully, I probably ain't asking her through no date through a DM for real, but I will tell you this. There is no way that if we get to a date and I don't have your number, you might have to pay for your own meal.
First she's not going, now she paying. What's going on, brother?
You know,
I think so I'm gonna take my boy's perspective here. That's a lot of pull. It's like I gotta ask you for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I already asked you on the date, right? Like meet me halfway. You get what I'm saying? Like it is obvious that we would need some way to communicate with one another that is a bit more simpler. And again, I think about phone numbers as access. Like I would need some type of access to ensure that this goes as planned, right? Or if something comes up, you could communicate with me in a way where I don't have to get on the app. It's directly, you're going to get me directly. So I think that part of it, just thinking about it, the logistics of going on a date, I think that makes it easier for everyone involved.
Yeah, I think it depends on.
Hey, Princess here in spirit tonight for real.
Yeah, for real, she is.
She here in spirit for tonight for real.
I agree with what Lewis is saying, right? Like wholeheartedly, I do. But I'm also thinking there are also a group of folks that getting on Instagram is just as easy. For example, some people they get on like WhatsApp. Everybody loves WhatsApp. Granted, for me, y'all know me, I'm just different. But for some people, it's like, yeah, just hit me up on WhatsApp. Why would I could just text you? You know, it's the same thing. Oh, just send me a DM.
Yeah, it's that end-to-end encryption.
Right, but that part. But I do think that for some people, if there's so many other ways of having access now, that like I think that's why I think this one can be fair. I really don't think that it has to be foul, only because for some it depends on what type of millennial we talking to. It depends on we talking to a Gen Zer. You know what I'm saying? It really, to Lewis's point, it really is generational. And even the nuances even within that part. Because don't hit me up in the DM.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. That's my so what's that? I think we're in young folks' business with this one. This ain't our debate. I ain't gonna lie.
I agree. I think it's not. Exactly. I don't think it's our debate. I don't.
Hey, look, give me the number, man.
That number was a big deal back in the day, man. That was everything.
Boy.
It was. Wait, do y'all remember how they used to have the thing where you could get them the fake number And then when the person called, it was like this person didn't want you to have their real number. Y'all
Oh
fucking with?
yeah. I got one of them before.
I'd have to say I haven't experienced that. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Okay. Here Lewis go. Yeah. Hey, look, he was on Facebook on the computer messaging people like, hey, he was on AOL.
AOL, he was on
enter.
AIM.
Hey, do y'all know what ASL
Yeah.
stand for? Y'all
Uh-huh.
don't. Oh, y'all ain't never been in no chat room, bro. We're gonna get up out of here. Hey, look, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Y'all don't-
ASL. Yeah.
what it stand for?
Age, sex, location.
Okay, I know. All right, she done been in the chat room before. Hey, look,
In the chat room.
Yeah, but so, hey, man, appreciate everybody tapping in tonight, man. We hope you enjoyed this segment of the Monday Night Crew. Please take a second and like this video, subscribe to the channel to get all content that's coming to the page, whether it be Monday Night Crew, Last Name Loyalty, Traffic Jam, or the Kickback by MBW. Show major love. Also, DC, May 17th, the first stop of the Millennials vs. World Podcast Party Tour. It's popping off at Cafe St. Next. You don't want to miss it. Sponsored by 3708 Tequila. We going in, man. Appreciate everybody tapping in, man. We are the Monday Night Crew. And let me make sure I ain't miss nothing. And we are out. Appreciate y'all, man.
Peace.